was like before we took financial peace, it was difficult. We didn't talk about money at all.
And it was a lot of shell games on utility bills and a lot of, okay, so we paid the water bill last month, so we're going to pay the electric bill this month, and we'll kind of jump back and forth, and then every once in a while you'll forget something and you won't pay that electric bill, and then, you know, your wife calls and says, hey, they turned the power off, and you're like, oh, that's weird, let me call them, and you make a random payment on a credit card to make it through that. I think I was doing our taxes and looking at that and pulled out all the student loan documentation and looking at it and saying, okay, we owe $25,000 on this student loan, just this one. We've paid $6,000 this year in it. That's what the paper says. And you now owe $24,800. And that was our breaking point. That was I am done with this. I do not want to do this anymore. This is dumb. Outside of the house, we had about $60,000 in debt, between $40,000 in student loans, about $10,000 in cars, and another $10,000 in just credit card debt. So we kind of sat down and talked and said, okay, we're trying to make a change. We're going to do something here. This is going to be crazy. Stay with me. I said, babe, we can sell the house, because this was right when real estate started taking off here again, and house prices are getting crazy, and we're looking around. I'm like, we can almost cover everything. We can get within 10 grand of paying everything off if we sold our house. So let's buy our RV and go live in an RV park. To which my wife said no. She said, we have 2 dogs and a baby. I'm not living in an RV park. What about tiny house? No. There was a lot of no's. So by the time you come around to, do you want to move in with my parents for a little bit? Like, that's an immediate yes, because you can't just, if I would jump straight to move in with my parents, the answer was a no immediately. But if you've worked through 2 different RV settings in a tiny home, hey, they have a full house, like indoor plumbing, so this kind of makes sense. And that's how you do it, gentlemen. That's how you work up to that. So once we moved in and paid off 90% of our debt in a week, which is crazy and wild, and then we were able to get on a budget and map it out, and so we were able to do the full tithe for once, because I mean, like, it was a radical change. So all of a sudden we had that margin, that move, and I understand that if we would have gone a different route, it would have been harder to jump straight up to a full tithe.
The feeling of being able to give and how that changes your heart, and it changes how you're able to process what's happening at church. And I mean, it starts one small change at a time. Maybe you don't have somebody to move in with, or maybe your situation's different, but every little thing can make a difference. And this program makes it possible. Financial peace makes it doable.
I'd say the biggest thing in general is it's going to take you, it's not going to be like I take this class one time and I've got it and we're good to go forever. We're going to do it again this round, just as a refresher, and hey, next time don't be emotional and buy that car.